My name's Mike, and you already know Charlie and Alex. This week we have Dylan with us, and welcome to the Nerdy Night Lounge again, bitches. As we break the table. As we're gonna break the roof off this bitch tonight.
No, we're not, because tonight's topic is wormholes and teleportation.
It's true. We're gonna teleport some shit on live television. Using this man's mowing company that he doesn't have.
On topic.
I teleported a whole bag of Doritos into my stomach a few minutes ago.
Technically, they will be reassembled, just not back as Doritos.
Okay, well, let's use that as a segue into wormholes.
That does bring up a good idea. Like, once we do fucking get the technology to break something down, how are we gonna put it back together again?
And you just reverse engineer the technology that you used to disassemble it.
So how are you gonna reverse engineer dropping an egg on the ground?
Being awesome.
Well, the other thing you have to worry about with teleportation is, I think we touched on it a little bit last time, is teleportation implies that you're taking the atoms of one thing, breaking it down into component atoms, sending it across the distance, and reassembling it.
Which would kill you.
Which would kill you. It was you I was having that conversation with.
It would literally.
Would it be the same? Because you would have to restart that body complete with neurons firing in the proper patterns in order to maintain any kind of semblance of the original person.
Well, you're exactly right. I mean, and from a basic perspective, if you're using teleportation as your way of traveling, the disassembly process is no different than disintegrate from D&D. It completely vaporizes what you're doing, but you're doing it in an organized fashion instead of.
So what? Disintegrate, undisintegrate?
Essentially, yes. But I mean, it's the difference between a hammer and a scalpel. You are able to not only are you able to disassemble it down to at atomic level, you have mapped out every last atom.
Okay, Surgeon Simulator taught me there is no difference between a hammer and a scalpel, though.
Surgeon Simulator.
What a great game.
I would love to see your results at the end of the surgery.
Hey,
I've ever played it.
I watched my buddy Harold complete a game and win using only the hammer.
See? Teleportation is possible.
So says Surgeon Simulator.
But,
No, I mean, it also brings up the thing, like, eventually we'd have to start, it'd just be from, like, not anywhere, there'd be set points you could travel.
that's exactly right.
You'd have to have an assembly gate and a disassembly gate.
And that's correct. And that's the main problem with teleportation as an idea. You have to already have the location settled and made versus just traveling.
I think the major problem with teleportation is flies in the like machines.
I don't know. There could be advantage to having 1,000 eyelids. The wings would be too.
1,000 eyelids. Shit.
Just eyelids, not 1,000 eyes.
Yeah,
because
the eyes don't matter.
and that's another thing is that if we were to find a way to transport the matter instantly from point A to point B, as with teleportation, the reassembly process would have to. I mean, you would almost have to come back bald and in a sterile environment, because no way is it going to be able to reassemble you, and even if it's able to transport the information of these neurons were firing at this moment.
Well, I mean, it's like in Dr. Horrible, where it goes to transmog the fucking gold from the bank vault back to him, and he ends up with a bag of goop that he shows. It's not about the money. It's about upsetting the status quo. Because the status is not quo.
Seen that movie too many times. Although, speaking of TV shows, Fringe had an interesting idea. The idea of, and it kind of works more with wormholes versus teleportation, is one of the things that they had is that they teleported a man from a jail cell to some hill outside of somewhere else. And to me, that's an interesting concept, because that implies that, yeah, you've got the teleportation gate, like you said, but it would be something that you don't need any special tools for. It's a matter of just saying, okay, here is where we're taking matter from and putting it somewhere else.
So
That
like
to me
the
is a little
beaming
more-
process in
Yes.
fucking Star Trek.
Exactly.
I never saw the episode of Fringe with Nightcrawler, Alex.
Yeah, but at the same time, what happened to him? He got fucked up because of that.
Well, yeah, and
Horrendously
that's why Fringe is a great
disfigured.
example. Is that,
Everything wrong with what we've been discussing happened to that guy.
and that's true, but that's also why it's a good example, is because it shows it's not something that we're going to be able to perfect in any of our lifetimes.
Have any of you seen The Fly at all?
Bits and pieces.
Never heard of it. You're gonna learn something. You name a movie, 9 times out of 10, I've never seen it or heard of it.
And I watch way too many horror movies.
And I'm made of a glorified ball of rocks.
By Roxy means cocks. Look at this ball of cocks.
Just like George Washington.
I'm the guy who keeps us,
I heard that motherfucker had like 30 goddamn dicks.
I'm the guy who keeps us on topic. Anyway, segueing from that to what we were discussing.
As the first time that you've tried to take us back to topic.
It is true.
In 2 videos, I like my average. Thank you, sir.
How many times did I do it in the last video?
None.
We're not talking
You
about
were
the
the problem
last
last video. We had this conversation before we started shooting.
video. We need a vote, guys.
You're up,
Who's
Drex.
the biggest problem in this video? Alex or Charlie? We all know it's not me.
I honestly think it's Mikey and his fucking cat shirt.
Anyway,
Why are you looking at my
so,
pussy?
It's hard to not see it.
okay, let's go to wormholes here. And people who are going to want to say Doctor Who is an example, we're not going to worry about that because that's timey-wimey and it doesn't work.
And it's Doctor Who.
No, we like Doctor Who here.
Okay,
Dylan
that's
doesn't
fine.
like Doctor Who.
I don't like people who like Doctor Who. I've never seen Doctor Who myself, but
No, well, that works.
Probably the best example of wormholes would probably be Stargate.
Yeah.
Opening, just straight up opening
It-
portals across.
It's almost like a phone system how they have it though. You dial in, has your destination and everything and the code for the planet, and you step through the portal and it sends you there.
And you know
That
what?
makes perfect sense.
That
And they all
does make sense. to me.
simultaneously work.
I mean, it's basically saying, okay, here's the coordinates for where I want to go.
Well, I mean, if you watch enough into fucking Stargate, they even go to where you can jump between, like, not just around this galaxy, you can go to, like, millions and billions of light years away with a fucking step.
Yeah, and that's why
And instant.
that's why in all of travel, wormholes are the best option because it's not a matter of time at that point. You don't have a distance to travel. You have ripped open a portal based off of the math inputted in, the coordinates inputted in. At its basis level, time does not exist.
And I mean,
When you break it down, and it has been proven that time and space, when they are distorted, bend. If you can perfect the physics surrounding a portal like that, there's no point in this universe you shouldn't be able to reach.
I thought we weren't physicists.
I didn't use that. Oh,
What about a tesseract, huh?
I could be used as a power source.
Well, like there's like the book A Wrinkle in Time. They teleport in that, but it's not like they're like a wormhole or like a teleporter. One of the characters demonstrates it with her skirt. She's like, I'm gonna use my shirt here. She has an amp in her skirt, and she's like, so what if instead of walking across it, I just did this, and he just walked from here to here. He still
So it
actually
makes-
traveled the
So it
same
makes
distance.
a bend in time.
Yeah.
And see that wouldn't be a bad idea either. And actually, now that you mention it, that'd probably be even better than the wormhole because
well,
like,
essentially that's what a wormhole is.
It's
it
still-
is a
they're both-
connection in 2 points, but it's you bend you actually weight reality. It's like the black hole thing versus
Well,
this where it's taking
that's
2
what the-
points and bringing them
That's what
together.
the wormhole does. I mean, the wormhole bends it, and then it's the joining bridge. It's the wormhole.
Yeah,
That's true.
it's just one more theory around it. But they're all wormholes despite the science behind them. It is the best option by far. The problem with doing that is power. The amount of they just to and this isn't a wormhole. This is warp, but I won't get into that. But to do warp drive, you essentially have to do the same thing you do with wormhole. You have to literally tear open the fabric of space-time and bend it to your will or your goal, and that would take the entire mass of potential energy of Jupiter. That's a lot.
Really?
That's a lot.
You guys are learning things today.
That's-
Jupiter has a lot of
Well, I mean-
Jupiter is 1,000 Earths. That's a lot.
Somebody check his math later on.
Please do.
1,000 Earths.
I'm drinking beer right now, so.
You had half a beer, like right now.
And you know what? Fuck you.
The last time I seen him drinking,
He was using a wormhole generator.
he was using a wormhole generator, and by that I mean dancing terribly.
Yeah, the last time you saw me drinking, I was on the hunt for a wormhole.
And you know what? He was able to return.
That's a sex joke.
That's what Dylan does at anime conventions.
Ladies.
Pimp? Oh,
So,
where's my money?
I've been on basic cable, I get pussy.
But of all of the options, the one that would require the least amount of power would be teleportation, but it requires a tremendous amount more precision.
a lot of technology would be involved in there.
Well, I mean, then you could even branch off into the portable teleportation devices. Like just have a little something on your belt or whatever. You push a button, you're like, oh, here.
Yep. But again, you still have the same problem that you did before. Stargate was really handy because all of the portal system was already in place. They were just rediscovering it. But all of the technology we just talked about requires a bridge. You still have to get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
A teleportation, a portal, happens after we have already explored that area. So that hasn't done any good in regards to travel. And then there's also the chance of just doing it for the sake of doing it without really any regards as to where you're going, and that's just stupid.
But it does do it like regards to travel. I mean, essentially you're like leapfrogging at that point if you're setting up like a teleportation network like in Stargate. You know, like you can set up one and then you can return later and continue from that same point and move out.
And I don't disagree, but it doesn't change the fact you still had to get from point A to point B using normal methods.
Yeah, but you can do it as a series of smaller steps, not one like, 20-year jaunt through space.
That's true.
It is pretty
Save
fucking
time.
scary if they master this technology, though.
Well, the thing is none of this technology, if it was, like Alex said, we won't see it in our generation. If our grandkids see it in their generation, they'll be lucky. Then again, technology has increased at a pace 1,000 times faster. We've accomplished more in the last 100 years than mankind has accomplished in its million-year existence.
And I still have to wait in line for 3 hours to renew my driver's license.
Yeah? Well, the DMV, by an evolutionary standard, is meant to be slow.
They need wormholes.
Yeah, badly.
Wormholes in the DMV.
You're not in line. Wormhole just opens up under your seat. You just drop in front of the lady.
Oh my gosh. But, and I lost my train of thought.
Now, my thing with the wormhole thing is, like you said, where you can just kind of get to the one point and then go out from there. Is that would really put our knowledge of triangulating planets to the test.
Well, I mean, you just have, like, instead of light speed generators, it'd be obsolete. You just need a little wormhole generator on your ship. Once you figure out how to control the direction of where you're going with that shit.
But you are, that'd be terrifying. So
Well,
you
I mean,
gotta-
it's not even that. It's like, oh man, I'm pissed at this country. Let me drop a nuke. It's like,
That's-
oh man, I'm pissed at this person over here. Let me shoot a gun across the world through this little hole.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. By the time this technology's done, I'm hoping, I'm an optimist at heart, that we will be prepared to use it responsibly.
Won't happen.
Just
Yeah,
like we
If
use
we had
airplanes.
wormholes right now, everything you two just described would happen and happen often. Because I'm telling you right
So
now.
didn't you laugh at me when I started talking about communism one day and you're thinking we're going to advance past war?
I have hope.
We've always been at war with East Asia.
And that's the thing, is that the wormholes or teleportation from a war standpoint is bad news. Because it means, who fucking needs a plane to drop a bomb on country A? It's just...
It's very true.
Just get your spy in there, have them set up this device, get him the fuck out of there.
You know,
Country
and
A
just-
becomes slot B.
Well, and
Yes, yes.
yeah, but at the same time, as we were discussing last week with virtual reality, whether or not you have wormholes doesn't stop the fact we're going to drop bombs on each other. It makes it more efficient.
Well,
But
and that's the thing is
and the minute the first wormhole drops the first bomb, there will be countermeasures to that. And
They're
there's
gonna-
also the fear of someone else getting that technology.
Plus, the thing is that that's the first thing that we do with most technology, is that we use it against each other.
Yes.
Bottom line. So let's say that, God forbid, North Korea gets a hold of this wormhole technology first.
They deserve to bomb us.
I'm not saying that it's likely.
I'm just saying, I'm
But-
serious. If North Korea, if you have the technology to develop wormholes, there is no reason we should be having this video
If
right
they
now.
had
We
the
should-
technology to develop wormholes, they wouldn't keep having Dennis Rodman come over.
If they were to develop that technology, all it would take is one person coming over here and saying, "Oh, I'm going to put this wormhole or whatever pad right here."
So it's
By
going to be
house.
designed by Apple. It's going to be the eye worm.
or the eye hole, one of the two.
The eye hole.
The eye hole.
And that person then hops on a plane, goes to England, something like that, and he gets back home to North Korea, wherever, and then they just set a bomb down in the middle of St. Louis or something, because all of that distance is gone, and we aren't going to have a way. There's not going to be some kind of an anti-wormhole plane.
Personally, I don't know why he flew at all if he has wormholes.
Yeah.
He could have just wormhole there.
He's got to get the eye hole to that location before he can wormhole.
Think about the amount of energy involved.
Yeah, it's not
Something like that.
like
That's true.
You would detect the energy, just like
Yeah, but we don't have the technology to do anything. I mean, we'd see a burst of energy, sure, but we don't have the technology to do anything to stop it yet.
no, but we don't have the technology to do it yet either.
That's true. But all I'm saying is that
As you develop, before we ever develop the bomb, we develop the ability to find nuclear radiation first.
that's
By the
true.
time a portal generator is made in terms of a militarized use, there will be a way to track it. It will be too valuable technology not to.
Well, I mean, it depends who discovers the technology first.
I'm
I
here.
hope it's-
My
I
bet.
hope it's drug trafficking.
My bet. My bet. It's not North Korea.
Let's think past that. Let's think after because military will be the first one to design it. Some military will. That's usually how this shit works.
Don't disagree.
Commercial use. It's like, oh, I'm bored. I want to go eat dinner in Japan. Rather than taking a flight, you just jump in a wormhole.
In Japan, where they're like, no,
And-
we're not
or let's
gonna
say
do it.
I'm sitting over here and I see online, and I'm like, there's a store that sells every cat shirt ever made. Instead of taking all the time to plan a trip and fly there, I just jump in a wormhole and buy one for me and you.
I would show you Etsy, Mikey.
I'm gonna, and I get to use it for the first portal-oriented arson. But well, and you have interesting points like that. Something to consider. Bag of holding. D&D. I'm serious. All the bag of holding is portable wormhole.
And you thought Amazon Air was cool. Like
Yeah.
that little drone thing.
Well, that brings up the whole question about destroying reality with the Doomsday Arrow. You take you take an arrow, you tie a bag of holding around the tip of it. You put a portable hole on the end of the shaft. You shoot the arrow.
They actually
Portable
fixed
hole goes into the bag of holding and blows up the world.
that. They fixed that actually.
Did they?
Yeah, they decided that it's a 30-foot by 30-foot diameter is destroyed.
So you just need a bigger bag of holding. So a moon-sized bag of holding with a continent-sized arrow.
If you have the resources to make that, you've
No, just-
already won
You
D&D.
you just need a ballista arrow covered in a bunch of little bag of holding arrows.
I needed a ballista arrow with a midget attached, because that worked.
Can't say midget on the internet.
That's goddamn offensive.
I'm sorry, halfling, because that's what I was.
For anyone wondering, a halfling's a midget in D&D.
That was a dwarf. These dwarves are kind of out of proportion too.
That was the halfling fighter with 26 con.
Back on topic.
Anyway.
But I mean, imagine a wormhole. We're just looking at it in terms of travel. I mean, if you have complete access to the ability to open holes, and you literally have a designated wormhole for your refrigerator, where you sit.
Oh man, this gets us back onto the topic of why we would get even more fat.
This would be great for when we have virtual reality.
Because
Yeah,
someone is going to. It's gonna be like what was it on? I think it was on YouTube where whenever Portal was big. Somebody did here's a glass portal, and what was the first thing they did with it? They taped it to the inside of their toilet, put the lid down, and sat on it. And that is
They shit through their toilet.
they just never have to get up again to go to the bathroom. And wormhole technology would make us even more fat.
So I could
just like virtual reality.
I could shit on the couch while watching TV and not even make a mess.
Exactly.
I could go to a Chinese buffet and never leave.
Or just stick your fucking portal above the buffet on the shit you like, and when you're at home, that's hot, but it's worth it. That's hot, but it's worth it.
Oh, these blisters.
Yeah, because you can't stick tongs through the portal.
No, you can't.
Like,
You can't.
That makes too much sense. Quit trying to rationalize.
This is a
work.
comedy show, goddammit. But yeah, I mean, this is, man, I think that every episode I'm going to find a way that the technology we're talking about would make us fat. Oh man.
What do you think about using them in conjunction? Wormholes and teleportation. We can accomplish both.
Why would you need to?
Yeah, I mean,
well, see, here's what you do. You fall through a wormhole into a teleporter that just deposits you above the wormhole.
Portal 2, infinite jumping ability.
And then someone turns off the teleporter and you just
am
launch.
I the only one that ever wondered why you weren't allowed to touch the front of the portal gun? Did they ever go into what that was all about?
I believe the first one said something about cancer, I think.
I'm not 100% sure why they never allowed the first person player to talk. I understand.
Chell didn't need to talk.
Because she was female and there were no females playing that game.
Okay, well, I wasn't going that far. I was just saying there wasn't a whole lot to say.
Ruin your immersion.
This is Dylan. He's kind of sexist.
I am not sexist in the least. I'm realistic about video game culture.
And because he made a sexist joke, he can't go to Archon.
It wasn't a sexist joke. It was the fucking truth.
No, I am offended, and I will petition people to say you can't go now.
I had a girl play Portal once. She cried
Why?
because she was a fucking moron.
That may have been sexist.
No, that was a
girlfriend.
specific example.
But, well, the main reason is that while opening portals in space is handy, there is a legitimate advantage to being able to imagine the applications of taking the technology to break something down to the atomic level and reassembling it. There's really no injury you shouldn't be able to fix if you can reassemble an entire human body into a fixable location. There's also the argument that you don't actually break it down and reassemble it, you make a copy of it. Like, what was the movie? Horrible Disney movie, but a great book about a cowboy goes to Mars.
I don't know about a Disney movie. How about Willy Wonka did it with a bunch of orange halflings?
Well, it's true. He had the thing where he turned the giant ass chocolate bar in.
I'm aware. And he transported my TV too.
Exactly. And he became like a little bitty size, and they had to take him in like to the stretching room.
But
The
anyway,
taffy stretcher.
Exactly.
there was an episode of Star Trek where they did the beating.
What's Star Trek?
I will burn you.
Oh, it's that not Star Wars copy.
Burn the cat in the eye. But anyway, Star Trek The Next Generation, where the lieutenant, the second in command, they went back to a planet because there was a stress call. Well, during one of his missions, they beamed him up, and when he got back to the ship, some weird sci-fi thing happened, and his atoms were refracted. The same code that disassembled him reassembled a complete copy of him back on the planet. So the original was on the ship and lived his career for on, but he had a twin and doppelganger that was the same in him in every single way.
But you're creating matter from nothing, Charlie.
I didn't say Star Trek made a lot of sense.
Well, I know. I'm just saying that's creating matter from nothing.
But at the same time, I mean, do we die at that point? What happens if you have, but at the same time, you're right, they did create matter from nothing. But as long as you have it mapped out and you have the necessary materials to reassemble it, you can just reassemble a perfect copy of somebody. That eliminates hunger, that eliminates thirst, that eliminates medical supplies. That's what they do in Star Trek. They
now
actually
we're getting more into cloning than wormholes.
I see where he's going
that's
with
what
this. Basically, the
teleportation essentially is.
What you're saying is that at the point we actually have teleportation, we're going to have perfect cloning.
Yeah.
Okay, the point we're able to copy not only the person's body physically, but get to a point where all the neurons and everything is firing at the same point.
Anytime you teleport, it's technically suicide at that point.
Yeah, that's exactly what...
Yeah, I'm firmly in the camp that believes that if you were teleported, you would be dead.
And I can agree with that. I'd say even if it does
John Carter.
put you somewhere
That's the name
else.
of the Disney movie.
Oh!
John Carter.
Why would you ever mention that movie?
That was the name. It was relevant to the topic.
Yeah,
Because
but-
his body was teleported to Mars by the exact method we discussed. I'm supposed to apparently look at the camera because they don't hear me, and I want you people to document when I turn this way and talk, as I'm talking now, and I turn this way in this talk. If you see any difference, let us know in the comments, because I think they're full of shit.
I prefer it when you face me, Charlie.
Yeah.
I don't want you looking at me.
The truth comes out, doesn't it? But his human body stayed on Earth the entire time, and it was just reassembled, and his consciousness was transported from one copy to the other. That's how it worked. But there was actually two copies of his body.
How was his... I haven't seen the movie, so how was his consciousness transported back and forth?
Dude, I saw 5 minutes of that movie. Like, that movie...
I mean, unless there's some kind of a technology doing that.
But that's what I was assuming was happening. Because it did do that.
I'm gonna have to watch that movie.
I didn't get past the first 5 minutes where he stabs a baby.
Sometimes you gotta stab a baby.
This is all for teleportation in virtual reality.
But that was just the point. It was a pure. He compared it to a copy machine, a copywriter for the time, and it was a perfect copy.
Now I'm just thinking about human sacrifice fueled teleportation.
Oh God! Oh my goodness! Now that's a topic. Religious implications for wormholes and teleportation.
Yeah, no, the Catholic Church is never going to get behind teleportation.
They might be why we don't have it.
The Catholic Church doesn't get behind anything but little boys. Am I right?
Oh, I can't say halfling, but you can say that.
I hope to God my father isn't watching this video right now.
Hi, Mr. Hayden.
Hello, Mr. Hayden.
My whole family's Catholic.
He used to be an altar boy. Whenever he farts, it's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. Don't even hear the butt cheeks. You just
What? That doesn't even...
You tried.
I tried.
You tried.
I failed. The moral of the story is he got butt fucked in churches.
Okay, so
In his wormhole.
so what I've decided is that this is no longer a podcast about a specific topic. It's about a specific word. And what we can do with that word. It's like Pee-wee's Playhouse.
You used the word of the day. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, we have to have an alarm every time someone actually talks about the subject.
Oh my God! But
So,
Well, religious applications of it.
Religious applications. Now. Oh man, communion in space.
Literally, you just got done killing someone from a million miles away to open up your mini wormhole to your priest. Father, I've sinned. That's the 3rd time today, you asshole!
And it's been within the same fucking hour.
I've got shit to do. Quit killing people. That's what God wants.
Have you read the Old Testament? I'm not even going to get into that on the internet.
Yeah, that's-
No, I'm not doing it.
Next week, religion.
No.
That's what you definitely have to have me on for.
Yeah.
But that does bring up an interesting point. Leave a comment on what you would like us to talk about in future videos. Because I'm sure we're going to run out of shit eventually on our own. I mean, face it, we're stupid.
We're
they're
stupid.
stupid.
That's why we're talking about this.
Yeah. I'm sure religion will come up shortly after, like, My Little Pony and Homestuck.
Good.
I've never watched My Little Pony and I've never read Homestuck. All I know about Homestuck is they spit in buckets and that's how they have sex.
Right.
Have you seen the people who
We're
read
done.
Homestuck?
We're going back to wormholes. We're going.
Alright, and we can cut out the last minute and a half. Go.
Was that
we just had an edit. So, see, they won't know what I just said, but now we're discussing the edit, so we're
It's
going to
completely
cut more
depending
out.
on how Mikey's work ethic for the day. I thought we were editing the last one. That didn't happen.
I think if we're gonna edit out everything offensive, you might need to find someone to replace Mikey and I.
That last comment wasn't offensive. It was just so far off topic. It wasn't even funny.
Why do you guys keep going off topic? We're trying to talk about wormholes here.
How would we implement wormholes? What would be the travel source to get us from point A to point B? Because you're exactly right. You do it as a stepping ladder. Once we set a wormhole or teleportation platform on the moon, then it's that much easier to get one to Mars.
You'd almost have to have like a hubway.
No,
of
we
some
talked
sort.
about teleportation on Mars.
You'd have to have like some kind of hubway where you go through if you want to use it for commercial use, say a small town. You step through a fucking wormhole, it takes you to a group of other wormholes. It's like this, it replaces doors. There's no more doors on the building. You step through a little portal in the hubway, takes you to the store you want to go to.
I'm completely for this.
That's how Jack got to Christmas Town.
Exactly.
He found a hubway. That's a good.
That's exactly what he
Okay.
That's-
All right.
That's how Santa does it.
We have.
One
We
chimney
have.
at a fucking
Well, the
time.
only
Unraveled.
reason I stole the idea of the hubway from our buddy T, because in Tekkit, remember the hubway?
Oh man, that's right. Just doors everywhere. Well, okay. Well, the other thing is that you have to realize there wouldn't be any cross-country shipping anymore.
I mean, there wouldn't be any ship. There'd be no point to get anything shipped.
Exactly. I mean,
You could just get your lazy ass off the fucking couch and step through the portal.
You get like your Amazon wormhole and you put it above your computer on the ceiling, and then like when I order my like erotica on Amazon, it just falls into my lap like half a second later.
Man, if the criminal industry got it, that's going to revolutionize portable wives.
Oh man.
Think about the first time someone uses a wormhole to fuck themselves in the ass.
Oh man.
You know, there's a little D&D thing. Someone might actually learn how to put taste buds on their ass cheeks.
There's a story behind this.
We're not getting into
Oh.
it. That video will come. We're literally going to title it Ass Cheek Taste Buds, and we will explain.
No,
For
we're
now,
not. I will not be part of an episode called Ass Cheek Taste Buds.
What if we give you a teleportation device?
I'll think about it.
But guys, it changes everything when you think about that. Shipping is gone. Travel. There's really no more need for vehicles, is there?
Well, it depends on how widespread it becomes. I mean, it depends on what the type of energy source really becomes.
Well, I mean, admittedly, when it first starts happening, I'm sure you're going to have your horrible instances of lost limbs in teleportation's case mixed with flies, the classic examples. But as all technology happens, more time passes, more stuff we learn, it'll become cheaper and more available to the point where we'll have our own mini teleport.
They
Well, what I'm
keep telling me
thinking
that
is-
with space travel, but
But
Well, my thing is, I think that whenever it first happens, it's going to be every Walmart's going to have one of these things. And they're shipping, they're not going to have trucks anymore. They're going to have a landing pad. And you're absolutely right. And as it becomes more and more,
There really wouldn't even need to
Doable.
be a landing pad, just something big enough to fit a dolly through.
yeah, I mean, it means that Walmart would buy out a warehouse the size of a city, and just transport everything from there. That's all it would be.
They could build it in Detroit.
They could just buy Detroit.
It's true, because who needs Detroit?
We're gonna get shot.
Hey, I'm from Detroit. You fuck off.
Yeah, but it doesn't make you a shield.
I rest
for-
my case. But yeah, I mean, business aspects would be.
Yeah, that'd be phenomenal.
But you'd still need shipping would be done, but you would still need a form of travel. Even in Stargate, they had spaceships. They still had to travel to these planets with the gates in them.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's something that you would still have.
Still
a need
have
for
exploration and stuff.
cars, but things like cross-country shipping, not really.
No, and I agree with you. But that's the thing. Wormholes and teleportation, as mentioned earlier, are only as good as our ability to settle and explore. This happens after we have found and designated an area.
And with the fucking teleportation and wormhole things, if we could get them to operate like magnets to where they actually repel, you could even use that as your transportation source. It'd be all about angles. Just strap like 4 of them to the bottom of a car.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There's another.
Just have them moving constantly. Or have the road have a special type of wormhole that projects upwards.
Interesting.
That's not a wormhole. That's a fan.
Same thing.
The fan in your computer
The fan is just a
wormhole.
really short-range wormhole.
That now explains why my computer's fans light up red. They're just wormholes. That's the wormhole power generating from the fans.
And that's an interesting point. Power source.
Really, I mean, I don't think we can even speculate on that. Not yet.
I can't wait for the first, like...
You'd need like some kind of fucking Tony Stark micro arc reactor.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and they
But it
say
has to be in your chest.
I'd be fine with that. But and specifically, that's actually a good point. The arc reactor that powers the suit said to have 6 million horsepower. That explains why he can do everything. I mean, to actively shoot a metal suit.
I don't think that he said that the arc reactor had horsepower.
No, that's what they used to describe the technology in the original script.
I don't know if they called it horsepower.
Why did you read the Iron Man script?
Because I'm a huge geek. As the title of this.
I have a Dungeons & Dragons tattoo, and I haven't read the Iron Man script.
Well, clearly you're failing as a geek, aren't you?
No.
Step up.
Who's Iron Man?
Yeah. Good luck selling that one, Mike.
Cue the hateful comments.
He's the guy you literally brought up first.
Oh, Tony Stark? They're the same guy?
Yeah!
No, they're not. No.
Nothing to do with each other whatsoever.
It's a secret to everybody.
It's just a coincidence they both have a glowing chest.
I mean, aside from
That's a good
transportation,
point.
I'm trying to think. I mean, you could use this wormhole for almost anything.
Essentially, yeah. You can use it as a weapon, transportation.
You could
Sex
use
toy.
it at garbage disposal.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already talked about putting a pad in Detroit. Like,
Oh man. Okay, so we've been kind of imagining what if a wormhole required some kind of a field around it. What the hell happens if you don't require like a metal like ring around, like the Stargate has the ring around it? What if you didn't need that Stargate, and you could fire these things at people? Wormholes this big around, you just fire them straight forward. There's no splatter from the bullet.
It has to teleport it somewhere.
Well, if the blood splatter is 10,000 miles away,
You just have to like put it at the bottom of the
what
ocean.
about the applications of body modification?
I would get gauges for that. I would get gauges in my ears specifically so I could be like, hey, throw a pencil through there.
I'm
Go
just
ahead.
thinking about just like not even like no needles involved in removing that little part of
Oh.
skin. Just like
You meant
and
for
it's
like
gone.
you mean for actual
There's-
like
like,
body mod. I thought you meant like having wormholes in your ears. I was thinking that's fucking fantastic. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna have the fucking fruit by the foot coming out of my ear.
Not to
Never ending.
dampen the mood. The problem is they would never be permanent. The whole point of that sphere is they keep them contained and open. Now it is possible to maybe fire something that opens a hole, but it would be temporary.
Well, it would only need to be temporary in this case.
But the interesting thing is if you don't need, if you have now weaponized wormholes as a weapon, something you can direct, you don't need ammunition fired at your head.
Exactly.
Your head's gone. Your body is now headless.
Well, that's exactly what I'm
You're ripping
saying.
holes in reality through their neck.
It doesn't matter what you're shooting at that point either. It's like, oh, there's a fucking tank.
Matter
There's half a fucking tank.
Yeah,
becomes
the other half
matter
is
is
in
matter.
the bottom of the ocean, as we just described. The other application, other dimensions. We're assuming wormholes within our own galaxy to other planets. I mean, you start bending time and space, the entire idea of, not to get too physic here, but the idea of other realities is they just beat at different frequencies. I mean, if you're actually tearing holes in
We would
reality,
find out for sure, yeah. Maybe we'd have the...
you're effectively
Quant-
bending time and space, so
Will it eventually break?
I talked about the guy fucking himself. What about people fucking other people? Like, I could fuck someone and have to be in the same country.
Once again, we go back to Second Life.
Virtual reality.
You know, actually, teleportation. Kind of taking it back a step there. If you had the basics of a person, you could just make a person just brand new.
Just throw the chemical components of a person into the thing and have
And just have it just. That means the teleportation goes from teleportation.
the Elric
to,
brothers could get their mother back.
I'm not.
We already established it's not their mother. I don't even know who that is though. So
Just don't get Chemical X in there, or you get the Powerpuff Girls.
That's true. Well, then you also need sugar and spice and everything nice. Plus Chemical X.
I'm thinking sugar and spice and everything nice. What do you put in there? Everything nice is like a big category.
Personally, if you're starting if you're putting like live kittens in there, I think you're a bit of a sadist. Personally, but
Take pictures of them beforehand so you can
That's-
put them on a shirt.
That's what it is. The Powerpuff Girls are really evolved cats.
makes sense. Taking over the world one YouTube video at a time.
It's not that they don't age, it's just they don't get too much bigger than that.
That would explain the huge eyes and
Tonight we have also unraveled Powerpuff Girls and how they work
You're welcome.
using wormholes. This is a segue.
This is true. Now, does anybody else have any?
But that's what I was saying earlier. Is that as long as if you have it mapped, all you need is the resources at that point: food, technology. Good lord, you disassemble you teleport his computer. You know, perfect mock-up of his computer. As long as you do the elements, you can reassemble it as many times as you want.
remember the pizza
It's a
race?
shitty computer, but I mean,
Yeah.
The pizza race would have been way more interesting with wormholes.
Yeah, one day me and Dylan were sitting there. We ordered a pizza from Domino's and Pizza Hut. You won, by the way, Pizza Hut. Go you.
The pizza from Domino's was better.
But it took like 4 times as long.
I don't care.
Anyways, yeah, just like, catch, bitch.
Yeah, and you just they just launch the pizza onto your table.
oh my god.
No, it rolls out of the pizza oven and onto your kitchen table.
All of these applications that we're thinking of for this are losing people jobs.
Well, I mean, just think of the delivery food industry. You just have a fucking wormhole in the middle of your table. You call the restaurant you want, tell them the fucking coordinates for your wormhole, turn it on, bam, dinner.
Same time though, we're also assuming that we're also applying this all to now. If wormholes were available now.
Yeah, we won't fucking eat pizza in 60 years.
Yeah, there will always be pizza, and there will always be pizza delivery of some kind.
There's no guarantee there's going to be a Walmart, nor is there going to be a guarantee that we even pay for this
But
crap
there will
once
be
we
the
discover
equivalent
wormholes.
of
Dude,
Walmart.
6,000 years from now, people are going to think Walmart was a major religion.
And they will be right.
So I mean, yeah, you might be right. Yeah, Walmart may not exist in 6,000 years.
It will if it gets a union.
This is true. Unionize. Don't let the man keep you down. Anyway, but
man being
there will
Walmart,
always
yeah,
be something similar to Walmart. There will always be some.
Well, at that
Big
point, it's just going to
chain.
be called Google, like everything else.
Or iHeart.
The one world government of Google.
Google is eventually going to be the UN.
I don't know.
I'd say Apple would be more likely to.
No, because Google's just going to
Well,
buy
Apple would be more like Nazi Germany.
I'm not sure if we can have that in this video.
No, it's true, because instead of like eradicating the Jews, it's like, you're a Windows user. You're an Android user. You're a Windows user.
Okay,
Pull out your phone.
You can't even
We
say
want
that
verification.
because Apple recalled the phone because it wasn't white enough. That happened.
Wasn't wide enough.
As said by a bunch of white guys.
We're not wide enough either.
Dude, I'm half Swedish.
Eh?
Like, it doesn't get any whiter than that.
So, Wormholes, we've decimated several jobs. Several big jobs, even if they're not ones you would think of as backbones of society.
You destroyed the entire fucking trucking industry. That is indeed the backbone
That's
of
true.
society,
That
Alex.
is the backbone of society. We've destroyed any kind of delivery system, be it Amazon, even the postal service.
But there's going to be new jobs.
We got rid of American Airlines overnight.
I mean, our space travel implications alone,
But the thing is,
it's
that
going to open up more jobs than
It's
things.
like, man, we need to go get to that mine. No, we don't. Just bring it here.
Because you were talking about launching wormholes.
Mhm.
Fuck having to travel those distances. Just like get a central point and launch wormholes from there.
and that's
Well, actually, and you even changed it to that. You've even made it so that we don't even have to go through wormholes. Hey, there's a comet full of that valuable resource. We can fire a wormhole at it and just bring it to us.
that might be bad news because we haven't established if teleportation would be better for that because that wormhole we haven't discussed if it's going to do things like dampen momentum. And if we bring a comet to the Earth's surface, we're all dead.
We just, hey, Detroit has already been the butt of a lot of jokes tonight. We could use a bigger parking
I'm
lot.
gonna call RoboCop.
What's RoboCop going to do? It's like they're teleporting a comet to Detroit.
No,
No, if we're
I'm
going
gonna call RoboCop on Charlie.
Oh,
Out of Detroit.
because I was going to say, if we're teleporting a comet, we need Bruce Willis. Haven't you seen Armageddon?
Yes.
And Steve Buscemi.
RoboCop goes from trying to shoot the comet down and realizes, nope,
He
runs.
And he's just like Charlie's spinal cord. I'd buy that for $1.
He sees the fucking asteroid coming down. He throws materials into a wormhole, goes in with it, comes out as Bruce Willis.
You just got like me standing behind him with a bass guitar going, we're gonna do this. Mikey's never seen Fully Cooley, so you have to like him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think that a wormhole would be the best option.
Fully
for-
coolly, the application of wormholes into foreheads.
Yeah, that's true too.
That's a point.
Phallic wormholes into foreheads at that.
Yeah. No kidding. Ultimately, it changes everything. It makes it. It would be the stage. It would be the next step. I mean,
Well,
there's really nothing you can't accomplish.
Like, I'm really fond of talking about how the internet made the world smaller. Like, if I want to talk to someone in Germany, it's no longer like, oh god, it's gonna be like $22 a minute on the phone. It's like, oh hey, let me sign into Skype real fucking quick.
Yeah. Now we've literally made it so that if it's Skype, you can actually Skype someone and punch them in the face.
That'd make our job so much easier.
Oh my god.
Oh man,
Would it, or would we need defense barriers?
good point.
Well, like, that's like I told a customer one day, that was like, what do you think people forget when they talk to you guys? Which is a really weird question to ask a customer service representative. I'm like, I think people forget that I've got your address on the screen right in front of me.
No, I mean the thing
Your
is, you
credit
have
card number, your phone number, your family's phone number information.
to keep up with the butt of all jokes. We'd have to have a special call center for all calls coming from Detroit. That's just armor plated. Because if you don't give them what you want, take.
Man, but can you imagine being able, like, someone calls in, any place where you're working, and you decide, you know what, I don't want to work here anymore. Hello, this is so-and-so. You need to stop yelling at me. Please stop yelling. Boom!
Okay.
What about your little fantasy about me quitting my job, Alex, where I just, like, take my headset off and walk out of the building? Like, it'd be even better. Like, I don't even have to take my headset off. I just, like, flick a switch and fall through the fucking floor.
Guys! Wormholes and teleportation in the form of practical jokes.
Oh, man. You're camping. It's like you don't just try to move somebody out into the water. No, it's just like, whoop, there's a splash 50 feet away.
Going off the idea.
No, the only thing I would do is I would teleport your ass into the bug exhibit in the zoo.
I would just
That
send
would
people
paralyze me.
possums
Send
through
people
the wormhole. Like I'm just standing at my house, it's like I got like a big box of possums that I've been fucking around with all day and starving for a month. And then like I just open up the wormhole to Mikey's house, I'm like, I'll show you the fucking. And there's like a possum in
Better
there.
yet, just like take a random phone book and it's the teleporter book, and you just pick random.
Instead of prank calls, prank teleporters.
You just throw like a couple firecrackers, possums, just some random people around the universe.
By the way, I firmly believe like possums are concentrated evil. Because like that's the only thing I've ever shot 4 times and it kept coming at me.
With what?
What? With a 44.
Whoa. Fuck!
Possums don't know when they're dead.
I don't know though. Yep, this is terrible. No, I shouldn't bring it up on YouTube.
I agree.
Yeah, don't talk about
I
animal
was talking about
cruelty
it,
on
I just know
YouTube.
you. But imagine the ability that every time you took a shit, that was an aimed projectile.
Now I need to qualify that possum thing because I sound terrible for that. I was shooting the possum because it was killing our chickens. I lived on a farm.
I didn't know they were predators.
Yeah.
Oh man,
They'll eat
they'll
anything.
kill just about anything that, and even though you're bigger,
They don't give a shit.
so let's say that you're out camping and there's a possum there.
I've killed
You've-
possums.
and you've pissed off that possum. That possum will wait in the bushes for you to stop moving and find a way to get to you. They're vengeful,
But
like horses.
and
Don't even get me started on fucking
I don't like horses.
I've never been on a horse.
horses are
I'm
fine.
terrified of fucking horses.
We wouldn't need horseback riding anymore either.
We don't need horseback riding now.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. There's a market for it, even though they're evil creatures.
I hope my sister doesn't watch this video either.
I don't care if you watch it. Horses are evil creatures.
Horseback riding's pointless.
Anyway, so I mean, that would. Oh man, you know what else? There would be tons of space. Tons of space. Because
Trash
you
would
could
no
have-
longer be a problem.
Trash would no longer be a problem.
Yeah, no, we've already bankrupted pilots, flight organizers, truck drivers. Let me see.
Delivery
who
people
else?
of any kind.
Delivery people of every kind. Garbage men.
Travel of any kind.
Yeah, like no,
Taxi drivers.
Fuck road crews. Mechanics. Like automobile mechanics. Like
Well, I mean, like, imagine if instead of having a house laid out, you could make a house that was just a box. One door, maybe. Everything else is run by teleporters.
you could rent rooms, like not like rent rooms like, oh, I'm gonna sleep here tonight. Like rent rooms like, oh, this portal in my house now goes to this really fancy room I pay $30
Exactly.
to have access to.
Exactly.
More.
I mean, it would mean that there's no.
I would never have to fucking go outside again.
That's pretty much exactly it.
Oh my god, more distance between friends means nothing anymore. Hey man, you want to come over? Yeah. All right. Well, you're
Wouldn't
in
even-
California. I'm on Mars.
It wouldn't
Well,
even be a
no
phone
worries.
call.
Well,
I
the
wouldn't
thing
even
is,
call you for that. I'd open up the portal.
Stick my head into your living room.
Are you home?
it would take
You want to come over?
it would take instead of like 20 minutes to get to your friend's house, it would take 5 seconds. Only in your case, instead of taking 2 hours, it would take 30 seconds.
A fucking police chase through random wormholes and teleporters.
No, you
Dude,
know
we
what?
started in Detroit and just.
Why are you trying? If I'm leading the police on a chase through wormholes, you better believe I'm gonna be carrying a boombox playing yakety sax.
Wound up on Pluto randomly, came back to
No,
Mars.
you know what? It would also stop those chases. Instead of laying down a spike strip, they're going to lay down a wormhole that just takes you just straight to the prison.
Well, that's assuming the bad guy doesn't have a wormhole that takes him straight back to his base.
That's true. That's true.
How do you? That's the thing. How do you counter this technology?
That's a good
Well, the
point.
thing is, you take the wormhole, you put it on your tabletop, counter wormhole.
But
That's because I'm like, what
I
can
just,
you do
I just
with
see,
anybody
I
can
just
be
see
anywhere?
someone just like spraying his house. What's this? It's anti-fucking wormhole spray. Fucking bastards just keep coming and taking all my
Oh my
shit.
Well, I mean, you'd almost need like some kind of electromagnetic field.
And then like, think about like the cheap wormholes
Something
from
that stores
Singapore.
time and space so people can't manipulate it.
Cheap wormholes from Singapore.
The ones that like 3-year-olds make in factories.
Oh my god! It would
Right
be,
next to the iPads.
it would be just like the little black holes that Wile E. Coyote would use from Acme, and it always worked for the Roadrunner, but it would never work for him. Just running head first into the wall.
It's like you get a cheap wormhole, and it just has like two uses. So in the case of this doorless building that we've designed earlier, you get a cheap wormhole. It's like you're trapped in a box with no way to get out of there because we don't need doors anymore.
Just, I mean, but imagine more than that. If we are expanding this to what a wormhole can do, like you said, but we don't have to carry anything anymore.
But if like, but think about that. A power outage would just make society collapse.
No, literally it would, because every single portal everywhere would collapse. Arms would be missing.
Oh man, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It would necessitate some kind of backup power.
But at the same time, though, no, because we're assuming these portals are plugged into something. If you have mastered tearing open the fabric of things,
I'm sure they will
conveniently
generate
as to-
their own power.
Yeah, exactly. And you'd have power sources so great that there will be no
All
power
those-
plant to ever go out because you're literally harnessing the power of the sun.
The Stargates had to have power.
That's true.
The Stargates, because that's how they tied in Atlantis, is they didn't have enough power at first to fucking go out to these other portals that they had found the map about, that Daniel Jackson had found the map, until they found the ZPM.
Right, but
It all goes back to fucking Stargate.
Yeah.
It really does.
yeah.
Sliders.
But at the same time, the portals we're talking about are a whole shit ton more advanced than the ones in Stargate.
Not necessarily, because there was the race in Stargate before they got killed by the ghouls that had the portable teleporters on their side that I was talking about last episode.
Yeah, but those portable teleporters had no issue with power. Just the giant Stargates did. And those were probably the beta version.
And those were the commercial used ones too.
But,
I'm just trying to think of other people we've unemployed by this. Right? No, we've shut down most hospitals. Like, because people are just going to go to the best hospital available and just teleport.
are
there.
you kidding me? You can
The doctor
actually,
can come to
you can actually do this both ways. Hey doctor, I need a shot. Hey, drug dealer, I need you to shoot me up. Right here. Thanks, man.
So in your world, the drug dealer doesn't just sell you the drugs. He administers them.
That's hard to do in wormholes, man.
You just like stick your nostril through a wormhole. I hope it's the right one.
It's like the wormhole to the cocaine room. You just stick your nose in.
You get
3 seconds.
scumbag drug dealer that put cayenne on the other side. You didn't pay me last time, bitch.
You just have a wormhole in your living room as you're watching TV and someone just grabs you and starts punching you in the face.
Think about the implicate for bank robberies, though.
Oh man.
What is that? What does that do for dimensions? Like, I mean,
We got down this road.
Portal 1 and 2. I mean, for crying out loud. Okay, I'm gonna go to the bank by putting it here flat on the ground, but it's the front entrance to the bank. I'm gonna climb through the bottom of the Empire State Building by putting the portal out in the middle of the air. By jumping into it and... Fuck no!
You know the theory that people like say if you jump off the Empire State Building or a really tall building, you know there's the urban legend that you'll liquefy because you'll hit hard enough.
No, I saw Crank. He survived. He bounced.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying is that it would actually happen because someone would say, okay, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna do it in the most creative way possible. He's gonna have a portal on the bottom that leads right back up to the top. So we'll have fallen the length of the Empire State Building twice.
No, that's not the most creative way to kill yourself, Alex.
I don't know.
No. Okay, here's what you do. You tie a piano wire around your neck. You super glue your hands to the side of your head. You tie your feet to something behind you, and then you jump off the building. So you end up hanging right above the sidewalk, holding your own head in your hands upside down.
Well, I know a few viewers that we're probably going to lose from this video.
I don't even have a response for that.
What's that have to do with wormholes?
Anyway,
I'm scared now.
Well, your neck's going to be a wormhole from all the fluids in your body.
but in Family Guy, they had an interesting use. You never had to piss or pee ever again. You could just
Piss
order.
or pee ever again?
Neither one.
No, pissing is what you do after a case of Pabst. Anything else is just peeing.
You never had to go to the bathroom. You just ordered a teleport. Happened.
Oh man.
Or you just get like a permanent wormhole affixed in your colon.
No,
And
just
like you don't even have to think about it. Like your shit just funnels out.
And now we've unemployed plumbers.
well, I mean, the thing is, you just have like fucking boxers with wormholes in the front and back. You just push a button and you're like, oh, got my pisser open.
You have a
Oh,
permanent condom.
wait a minute. That'd be terrifying.
Oh yeah, no, wormhole condoms. So somewhere there's just a giant lake of semen.
No, well, you're
And then
just
we've solved executions. We
And
just
then
got people with that.
You're insinuating we're shoving a little wormhole generator in a vagina.
Okay.
I hope it doesn't slip.
But wait a minute.
That's
Wait a
another
minute.
thing. If you open a wormhole and you miss, does that just immediately cut off your arm? Cut off your penis? Cut off your head?
Probably, but imagine the terror of Mikey's underwear idea, where his junk is just like hanging out of the top of the toilet. You open up the toilet, junk.
No, actually, but wait. What if you move the portal? Wouldn't it just slice Mikey's dick off?
I don't know. I would say that it would have to be a fixed point. So it's the portal is the portal, but
Well,
man.
Could you reverse that? Like, let's say you got those boxers. I go sit on the toilet and shit in your boxers.
Okay, but I mean, like, I think if we've got wormholes, we've got the technology to put Mikey's dick back up.
I'm telling you right now, what happens if you get the wrong wormhole? You're just dialing random wormhole numbers for different things. You shit in someone's pizza.
So okay,
I mean,
so that would
The heroin and the doctor get mixed up by the guy.
I
That would be-
misdial my underwear and just start pissing into the lube. Like,
I misdialed my underwear.
Your trial portals and your shit portals get backed up. Someone falls into a lake
Because
of semen.
you're too fucking drunk.
oh my god, drunk portaling.
Drunk portal drunk.
Well, we
dialing.
just found an employment for cops. It's like, sir, I had to pull you over. I saw you drunk portaling.
Oh my god, drunk portaling. I just like look at my ex-girlfriend in the portal book. Just stick my torso into her living room. Hey, fuck you, you cunt. I'm gone.
Yeah. Oh my god, you get star 69 portaled.
So things
Start
that,
punching each other back.
So-
Because you weren't fucking mad.
okay, so we've destroyed several jobs. However, we have established it would be possible to shit someone else's pants.
Misdial your underwear.
Oh my god.
Dial your underwear.
What if you butt dialed your underwear?
Well, Charlie, somebody shit in the pizza again.
No, you butt dial your underwear and your dick just like flops out of someone's kitchen table somewhere. Like,
What? How?
Can it be considered stalking if you're just sitting down watching someone through a portal all the time?
That brings up the
Like,
question.
are you actually creeping if
Would
you
you
have
be
done
able to
nothing?
see through the portal though?
because I mean, you'd technically be looking through a massive distance. Like it's really
Yeah.
out of your range of sight.
But that's the whole point, though. You have bent the distance so that.
But I mean, it's
it
like
hurts.
with the not just Stargates, any portals you see in movies. Generally, you can't see through them.
I'd say can't see through them makes more sense.
It'd be like a
Because
black
the
hole.
distance is still there for
Okay,
the wormhole.
all right. Very strong point. Wormhole. I put my camera through it so I can view it now.
Well, that works.
Now the question is it going to do it like that though? Or we're going back to Stargate here again. Stargate. I stick my arm through there. It doesn't come out on the other side
Until the whole thing's there. So it
until
depends
the
on
whole
what
thing
kind
goes
is there.
through.
Which
Yeah,
would mean
but
that
that's
you couldn't have your junk chopped off by your portal.
But that would also mean you couldn't just send your junk through.
I couldn't
That's true.
portal heckle
Yeah.
my exes.
But at the same time, that just depends on what kind of that's just the difference in the technology. In
You know-
Stargate, that was the case, but in Portal, that's the case. In Star Trek, that's
We could
the
try
case.
Mountain Dew fresh from the factory. Tell me another spigot.
You know what? Actually, okay. Well, it depends.
Are you kidding me? I just literally have a Mountain Dew fountain.
Okay,
portal.
so you would have if we were like Stargate, where the whole thing has to go through. That's one thing, and it'd probably be safer that way.
Well, it's not
Because the other
safer
thing
that
is-
way because if it closes before you're all the way through, whatever's been through is cut off and deleted.
That's true. But the other thing is, but if it worked the other way, where you could just reach through or something like that, would your blood flow through it? I mean, sure, your blood is going to be going, but you're not technically attached to anything on the other side.
It's just a floating dick.
So in that case, I would imagine that you couldn't go through a wormhole if it were like that, because if whatever you are sending through is immediately appearing on the other side, oh man, it means it's a blood fountain. It means you stick your hand through this portal, and on the other end, there is no hand. There's just this geyser of blood.
Oh my god. I just see like a kid theme park. Put your hands over your chest for the portal ride, or you will die. We lost 6 kids yesterday because you stupid bastards weren't listening.
Okay, what fucking portal ride, Charlie? Oh, I'm here. And now I'm somewhere else. Woo! Grade A entertainment.
We just have portals made. Things get a lot more boring when no travel is required.
I don't think that portals would eliminate the roller coaster industry. I'm sorry. I don't think it would do
What
that.
about fucking transcontinental roller coasters then?
That would be badass.
Like, don't think about just half of the loop, you're overlooking the Great Wall of China. Bottom half of the loop, you're coming underneath the Eiffel Tower. You come up around the Eiffel Tower, bam, you're in fucking Auschwitz.
I was worried you were going to say Detroit.
That is a dark place for a roller coaster to go. Auschwitz.
I don't know. I hear it's a scream.
It's like of all the places to go part of a theme
they
park.
had the most efficient showers ever.
Okay, now that's even a bit
All
much
right,
for me.
all right. We're chopping out those jokes now.
And frankly, they're offensive.
Yes.
Don't even Goebbels there. That was
Well,
bad.
well,
even
and
for
then
me.
there's other. I mean, think about the applications we've thought about scientific and funny, but I mean, for kids growing up with that, I mean, good lord, I mean,
Kids don't. No.
a field trip.
Kids don't get to use the teleporters.
No, but I think
they
they
gotta
can
walk.
supervise the teachers.
They should have an age limit on them.
I think that all technology, kids needs to have an age limit on it because kids today are too entitled. And imagine if that kid doesn't need to ask mom and dad to go to Disney World.
I don't know. I had video games growing up my whole life,
Think about the
and
implications for kidnapping.
there was this really annoying thing that I had to do every once in a while. I'd have to do this thing called play outside.
See, playing outside was dangerous when I was a kid because there were fucking snakes and coyotes.
There were where I lived too.
And you were in Detroit.
No, I wasn't. I moved away from Detroit when I was 8, Alex.
Okay, all right.
Just so you know, moving away from Detroit to the snakes and coyotes was much safer.
No, there are still snakes and coyotes in Detroit.
Just different.
They're just, you know,
They're just armed.
it's the names of gangs.
Like, what happened, man, dude? I got
Fucking
bit by
tunnel
poison.
snakes. Oh my god, teleporting street gangs.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Portal buys?
Portal by shootings.
So someone gets into your home and shoots you.
Could you imagine a flash mob through a portal? Like, just 80 clowns coming out in the middle of the fucking bus station.
Harlem Shake Portal Edition. You just wait for the most serious business meeting ever. All of a sudden, all these portals open.
And people fall through.
No, it's just people's torsos sticking out of the ground.
Honey, what took you away? My boss kidnapped me again for a meeting. Just opened up the portal and just choked
Oh,
me.
fuck that, dude. Could you imagine getting called into work just your boss presses a button and you just fall out of your bed into your fucking office?
It's oh my god.
That would inspire me to be one of those people who
That
goes
would
out of their
inspire
way
me to become a fucking, Mennonite.
Well, I'd have to sleep with clothes on from now on.
Oh man. The call center job calls you in, and by calling you in, I mean they teleport you into your desk.
Oh my god. Vengeful girlfriends. Holy crap.
Oh, God.
I thought you were at the grocery store. No! Here I am pulling your ass out of a gambling casino. What do you have to say for yourself?
Gambling casino?
Gambling casino.
To be opposed to the non-gambling casino.
I've been in them.
No, I don't think so.
No gambling took place. All the slot machines were broken.
So it wasn't an open casino.
So it wasn't a casino, it was just a room.
With broken electronics instead of broken dreams.
And livers.
I'm going to put that on a shirt.
I don't know, I think we've covered quite a bit about wormholes.
I'd say so.
All applications that shouldn't be taken by any scientific measure.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that wormholes would ruin society.
Think about the application.
But my God, it would be fun.
Not even just like, think about for scientific research. Just like, hey, what the hey, can we just get like Jim here for like 20 minutes? Like, just seriously, portal him up, just have him show up and out, it'd be cool.
God, could you imagine anyone trying to hide? Well, witness protection would be the most useless thing on the planet.
Well, you just have to change your portal address.
That's your IP, Alex.
Just change your IP.
Now can you spoof your MAC address, your portal address?
Spoofing the portal address.
So what? You spoof somebody else's portal address.
Like somebody
and
died.
their family comes to your house.
Oh my God.
Because there's two with the same address.
No, you spoof
Half of their family comes to your house.
You spoof someone's portal address. You fucking do like the stick your head into their living room heckling I was talking about earlier. You pull back out and they throw something at you. It just comes out in a vault somewhere.
No, like it redirects to them. It's like, woo!
Spoof someone's own portal address when you fucking.
Assuming the portals make it so that you can just stick your arm or something through, two people are having a fight and they get the portal addresses mixed up and they're just punching the shit out of the wrong person. I'm sorry, I thought you were my wife. It doesn't make it okay.
That is dark.
Okay, so no, I want to say I can't say halfway, but Charlie can make jokes about spousal abuse. I can make further jokes about Auschwitz, and
Because the word midget is offensive.
Everything I've said is politically correct and acceptable in society. So that's why I'm allowed to go to Archon.
we're gonna have to explain the Archon thing if we keep making that.
No, because I mentioned, and myself and somebody else mentioned on the Archon page this thing we're doing.
Good.
So
I'll be recognized for this in Archon.
you know what? No, because they're gonna see it, and because we are acknowledging that it was a stupid argument.
Well, and the thing is,
No, because I mean, like seriously.
according to those people, this is okay because we're not the guest of honors. Now, if I drop these non-offensive statements and I become the guest of honors, you all are gonna get butthurt.
I mean, no, like seriously, fuck that guy, because like some of that shit was kind of fucked up. But at the same time, like if you don't like it, don't go watch his shit.
Don't
And
be
that's
fucking
what I
watch
was
it.
trying to tell people, and they don't seem to understand it.
But
But
neither here nor there. I think we've covered pretty much every aspect of the portal and teleportation.
Yeah, that
one
one-
night.
Like we got to people butt fucking themselves like half an hour. Like,
So, again, to all you guys out there, I'm Mike.
I'm gonna take a whole.
This is the Wizard Harry. This is the Unicorn Charlie. And this is Nose Ring Dylan. This is the Nerdy Night Lounge. Have a good night, bitches.